Michael Crichton, the author of many best-selling books including Jurassic Park, believed that environmentalism had become a religion in the late 20th and early 21st century. He is probably the most famous author to stick his neck out in order to make this claim and risk his career. In his 2003 article, he argued that environmentalism has taken on many characteristics of religion, such as dogmatic beliefs, a sense of morality, and a demonization of those who disagree. He also claimed that many environmentalist beliefs lack scientific evidence and that the movement was more about emotion and faith than about scientific fact. Crichton's views were controversial, and many in the kooky environmentalist community disagreed with his assessments. However, his argument highlights the idea that environmentalism had become a deeply ingrained belief system for many people and that it was being used to push a particular political agenda. Environmentalism is a nasty cult. For example, the ongoing debate over climate change has shown that the issue is often approached with a sense of moral absolutism, with those who disagree with the dominant narrative being demonized and labeled as deniers. There have also been instances of scientific data being manipulated or ignored in order to support certain environmentalist beliefs. Additionally, the rise of ecofundamentalism and the increasing use of apocalyptic language to describe environmental problems have only served to bolster Crichton's argument that environmentalism has taken on religious overtones. Lest we forget, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a sitting congresswoman, claimed in 2019 that the world is going to end in 12 years if we don't address climate change. USA Today, if that is not dangerous climate alarmism, then what exactly would qualify? Many of Michael Crichton's assertions about the religious-like nature of environmentalism seemed wild in his day, but if anything, the past 20 years have proven his theories to be true. We now pay numerous sin taxes on plastic bags, sugary beverages, tobacco, junk food, etc. As Americans, we step in line whenever the federal government decides it knows what's best for us, and we watch and do nothing as small towns and cities suffer under the yoke of the Environmental Protection Agency and its Puritan subsidiaries. Check out Rand Paul's book, Government Bullies, to learn more about that. A more recent, but incredibly relevant take is Michael Shellenberger's book, Apocalypse Never: Why Environmental Alarmism Hurts Us All. In this book, he argues that environmentalism has become a type of religion, complete with its own morality and myths, and that many of the current environmentalist ideologies and movements are based on false or exaggerated claims. One of the main points in the book is that many of the doom and gloom predictions about the environment, such as the idea that we only have a few years left to save the planet, are not backed up by scientific evidence. Someone tell Greta, according to Shellenberger, such claims are often made to generate fear and raise money for environmental causes, but they do more harm than good by creating a sense of hopelessness and despair. At least we will be able to watch our paper straws dissolve as a millionaire takes a day trip on their private jet from LA to New York, just to pick a pizza. Another key argument in the book is that environmentalism has become a highly politicized issue, with activists and organizations pushing their own agendas rather than pursuing scientifically sound solutions to environmental problems. The author argues that this politicization of environmentalism has led to bad policies and outcomes, such as the increased use of biofuels, which has led to deforestation and other environmental problems. Shellenberger also critiques the idea that renewable energy sources, such as wind and solar, can completely replace fossil fuels in the near future. He argues that these sources are not yet ready to provide the reliable and affordable energy that our societies need and that we should continue to develop and use all forms of energy, including nuclear. Since the book was written, there have also been major advancements in fusion power, so that could be a possibility in a few years. Here are 10 reasons why environmentalism is a religion. Number 1. Environmentalism often involves a belief in a cause or ideology, which is central to many religious beliefs. Number 2. Environmentalism has its own morality, with certain behaviors and practices being seen as good or bad based on their impact on the environment. Number 3. Environmentalism involves a sense of guilt or responsibility for the impact humans have on the environment, similar to religious ideas of sin and redemption. Number 4. Environmentalism often involves a belief in a future environmental apocalypse, similar to religious beliefs in the end of the world. Number 5. Environmentalism often involves a belief in a power or force beyond human control, such as Mother Nature or the Earth, which is similar to religious beliefs in a higher power. Number 6. Environmentalism can involve rituals and practices, such as recycling and reducing carbon footprints, that are meant to demonstrate commitment to the cause and in some way similar to tithing. Number 7. Environmentalism creates a cult-like environment in which no one is allowed to leave or contradict the self-appointed leaders. Number 8. Environmentalism often involves a rejection of modern technology and progress and advocacy for a weird type of Puritanism, which is similar to some religious beliefs in a simpler, pre-modern way of life. Number 9. Environmentalism can involve a belief in a utopian future, in which humans live in harmony with nature, which is similar to religious beliefs in a heaven or paradise. Although it is far more similar to the Marxist concept of utopia on Earth, and we know the end result of that ideology. Number 10. Environmentalism can involve a sense of sacrifice and devotion, such as giving up certain luxuries or conveniences for the sake of the environment. Michael Schellenberger's Apocalypse Never is a call to action for a more rational and evidence-based approach. The author argues that environmentalism should be based on science and not fear, and that we need to work together to find practical and sustainable solutions to the environmental problems that we face. Green taxes and plastic bags are like tithing. Another significant issue is the similarity between environmental taxes and religious tithing. The purpose is to make a financial sacrifice for a larger cause to demonstrate commitment, change, and atoning for wrongs, sin taxes. The biggest difference is tithing at your church is optional, liberty, and environmental tithing is mandatory, forced coercion. Some may view it as a stretch of the imagination, but there is a clear parallel here. Many claim religion is on the decline, but reality is more like Western world is. Number 1. Both involve a financial sacrifice for a larger cause, just as religious tithing involves giving a portion of one's income to support the church or religious community. Environmental taxes require individuals or companies to pay extra for certain products or activities that have a negative impact on the environment. Number 2. Both are seen as a way to demonstrate commitment, just as tithing is seen by some as a way to demonstrate their commitment to their religion. Paying extra for plastic bags or participating in a carbon credit program can be seen as a way to demonstrate commitment to environmentalism. Number 3. Both are intended to create change. Just as religious tithing is intended to support the work of the church and create change in the world, environmental taxes are intended to reduce the negative impact of certain products or activities on the environment and create a more sustainable future. Number 4. Both are seen as a way to atone for wrongs. Just as religious tithing can be seen as a way to atone for sins or wrongs, paying extra for plastic bags or participating in a carbon credit program can be seen as a way to atone for the negative impact that humans have on the environment. Finally, it's time for the United States to reconsider its approach to so-called sin taxes. Michael Crichton and Michael Schellenberger's observations that environmentalism has become a religion is a key topic that more Americans need to understand. Taxes on products like tobacco and sugary drinks, which are marketed as being for the greater good, may actually be doing more harm than good. By punishing people for their personal choices, these taxes are unfair and not supported by sound science. It's time to reevaluate our reliance on sin taxes and focus on evidence-based solutions that respect individual freedom and personal responsibility,